Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and this is Josh Bryant. So you want to find God? Do you really, really want to find God? Because if you want to find God, it's going to take really, plus another really. And before I ever even get started on this, I want to go ahead and shoot out a disclaimer right off the bat, because for some reason I have it in the back of my head, I'm going to get some kind of crazy little message. I'm going to be talking later about a story, and it's going to involve jumping off of a cliff. I'm going to be talking about your spiritual self jumping off a cliff, not your physical self. I'm just going to throw this out here for a few people that might not know. If you jump off of a cliff, just know it's going to suck. No way around it. Okay, that's out of the way with. I just wanted to start it out, I hear tons of people say, man, I would love to find God. How do you find God? And everybody will give you 1,050,000 different ways, right? I mean, there's so many different stories and parables, and it seems confusing, like it's almost overwhelming for some people. It's simple, and this isn't the fix-all. This isn't going to be the one thing that is how you find. There's other steps that are involved. But if you've already taken those other steps and you're already saved and you've been baptized and you actually believe in God and you know that the only way to God is through His Son, Jesus Christ, now we're getting somewhere. So if you're that person, that character, and you really want to find God, you're going to find Him kind of in your own way. It's going to depend on you, and it's going to depend on where you're at in your life, and I'll get to that in just a second. I'm going to jump in real fast. I had a very important Christian man in my life. I mean, this guy's awesome, and I called him one day. I was struggling with some things, kind of battling back and forth, pushing and pulling, not quite understanding what I was supposed to do. It was like I had part of the message, but I didn't have the rest of it, or I had all of it, and I was too scared to do it. And he pretty much told me, he said, Josh, what I want you to do is I want you to pull up Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. I'm going to go over both of them here real quick, and then I'm going to get into my story. Proverbs 3, 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. And there again, whenever I get into my story, I'm going to talk about the world being evil. I guess the best way to put it is, we as adults, we see the evil things in this world, and it makes your brain think a certain way. You see something bad, you see something about to happen, and your brain's going to react to it so that you're not in that situation, or you know that that's coming up, and it'll give you a fear. You have a fear set into your mind. You know that's bad, and that is what the world has done to our brain, because we have learned the ways of the world. Now, the second verse, actually the sixth verse, in all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. Those two verses right there, my instructions were to read those two verses and read them. And he didn't tell me once. He said, you read it and read it and read it, and you continue to read it and you continue to pray until you get what God is trying to put on your heart and what God is telling you. And I think I got to about number 4, and it is an overwhelming feeling whenever you actually get that. I don't care if it takes you 104 times. You read that, and you think about that verse, and you put these two verses in your situation, and you're going to rock it. And I'm going to go ahead and get off into the story here real quick. So I know I'm trying to run out of time. I'm going to try to keep it short, not too long. So my statement is, you want to find God. You're going to find God whenever you least expect it. And as Christians, we're going to go through ups and downs and battles. These downs, you'll think, are the worst of the worst. You don't see a good outcome out of any side. You're constantly asking yourself, how do I fix this? What do I have to do to change this? I don't want to do this because of this outcome. And you have to stop. And I want you to visualize standing on the edge of a cliff. And I don't just mean any cliff. This cliff is high. This cliff is way high. There's an eagle flying over your head. We're high, right? And below you, you just peer over the edge. There is a huge boulder grouping at about where your landing zone would be, and they are sharp and jagged, and you are hundreds of feet in the air. You're looking down, and you're instantly scared to death about that fall. And to put this in with your life, I can go ahead and throw in your story or your issue now, where you're having a struggle with your family, you're having a family issue, and you don't see a good outcome. See, we can go back to trust in the Lord with all your heart and not lean on your own understanding. See, we don't see a good outcome. God has a good outcome. We don't see it, so we're scared to take that step. And this is whenever he's gonna. This is your test. This is when you're down. This is when he's wanting to see how much faith you really have. With God, there's not an in between. There's no middle. There is no. I kind of got it. With God, you have faith, or you don't have faith. You walk with God, or you don't. And this is your trial. This is where you are. You're standing on this ledge. And I don't care if it's a huge career change that's going to be a life-changing event for you. Whatever your situation is, this is God's test to you. And get back up on top of that cliff now. Now there's a breeze blowing on your back. You can feel it because it's kind of pushing you towards the ledge. And you're scared. You are scared, almost stiff, almost like you can't even move. And this decision that you want to make is behind you. It's behind you, and it's pushing you to the edge of that cliff. It's pushing you. But just 20 feet straight out from that cliff's edge is God. And he's staring at you, and he's smiling, and he's holding up a sign, and it has your name on it. And he's telling you, come here, come to me. Come to me, and this is all over. But see, in your mind, you're instantly, you want to go, but you know that if you take that step, you're scared to death of that free fall. You know how it's going to feel whenever you hit that bottom. You know it. You are scared to make that step, and it's smoking you. You are scared. You keep looking around for other options, other ways out that you can make it. The whole time God is holding this sign, and he's telling you, come here. Please come here. Just take one step. Come to me. And the world is exploding around you. That wind is still pushing on your back, pushing you towards that ledge, towards, no doubt, doom, pushing you there. And God is still smiling. Just come here. Please come here. He's begging you, please. And you have that decision to make. Do you stay with the, I'm too scared to make that step, and you deal with the outcomes of whatever happened? Or you take that step? And I want you to imagine taking this step. And it's going to be a step that you're going to take slowly, but you're going to take that step. And this is how you meet God. This is how you truly meet God, and you will feel it as soon as it happens. He's putting something on your heart, and you know it, you can feel it, but you're scared to death of it. I just did this. I just went through this very cliff myself, and it's mind-boggling, the outcome. I cannot believe where I'm at in my life right now. I just can't even. If you'd have told me I was going to do this video a year ago, I'd have laughed at you. Had no idea. I've been going to church for years. Had no idea. It was all about taking this step. So I want you to visualize slowly taking this step off this ledge, hundreds of feet up in the air, sharp, rugged, nasty boulders on the bottom. And you're just slowly getting that foot over. And you're scared to death. You're so scared. You're shaking. You're crying. Tears beating off your face. And the only thing you can tell yourself is, I don't care what happens here, God. I'm with you. I am with you to the end. I am here. Let's do this. And you take that step knowing you're about to have that gut-wrenching, scared free fall. You know it's coming. And as soon as you take that step and your body weight leaves that ledge, God just gave you wings and taught you how to fly, and you never dropped an inch. See, you were expecting God to catch you at the bottom. You knew God was going to catch you. You had that little bit of faith, and you knew He was going to catch you, but it was going to suck, and you knew it. But you took that faithful step, and it didn't turn out the way you expected it to. You instantly grew wings, and you instantly floated straight to Him, not a fear in the world. And now you're on your way to Him. You're 10 feet away from that cliff, hundreds of feet in the air. God's 10 feet in front of you. Now the trick, you've made that faithful step. Now the trick is to not look down at the eagles of the world, the fears. And the other trick is to not look behind you. Don't ever look back. Once you take that faithful step towards God, it is game on. Probably the most incredible feeling and sensation I've ever had in my entire life. And if you ever want to meet God personally, that's what it takes to meet Him. And I just want to tell y'all that story means quite a bit to me. I still, sitting here right now, my skin's crawling. I can't get that feeling out of my head the way that felt, to just finally submit my ways, give up everything, and I took that step. So when you finally want to meet God and you're that individual, take that step whenever you think there's no other step to take. Take it. Just take it. I love each and every one of y'all, and I just want y'all to know, God bless. And